Utah Governor John Huntsman's announcement for the presidency as the Statue of Liberty serving as a backdrop this morning here in New York, in the New York area. Obviously, it's a great symbol. He's entering a crowded field, and one that he is saying that his candidacy is going to be something different, like they all say, that he is going to be generating an excitement. As I understand, his Twitter account is now active, as well as his Facebook page for president, and going to the social media sites to get this thing going in a big way. I know you were before we went to his speech, you were talking about the communication and the fact that Obama being so effective as a communicator, and yet not getting his act together when it comes to carrying out some of the messages that are coming from that White House. You have, at this point, though, several candidates who are saying that they know, that they feel that they have what it takes to take on this president and offer the American people something different. They want to make him a one-term president. Republicans still also trying to find that voice. There's a lot of dissension going on about who that person should be to be the nominee at this point. But let me ask you your opinion about John Huntsman, first of all.
Well, I think John Huntsman's a big problem for the Obama administration because he has tremendous appeal among moderates and independents. He has a bipartisan background. He has...
we should say that he was former ambassador to China under President Obama.
Obama's ambassador to China. He's worked for Presidents Reagan, George W. Bush, Herbert Walker Bush, and he certainly brings a great deal of experience. Now, at the same time, those are all probably liabilities for the evangelical base of the Republican Party. And I think it will only accentuate this tug-of-war for the soul of the Republican Party that we've been watching unfold. So I think it'll be very difficult for him to get the nomination. But if he gets the nomination, he will be a very formidable contender against Obama.
I think the Obama White House probably would prefer that he's not the candidate for all the reasons that you said.
Which is why they nominated him to be the ambassador to China, hoping that will inoculate himself against the...
Do you think that's his biggest calling card, that he's a moderate?
Well, I think it's a big calling card. But I do think he's going to be divisive in the Republican Party, which the Republican Party doesn't need. But the biggest thing that nobody's watching, I talked about this before. I met the print him out and bring him in, and we were talking about this in the green room. Is look, I'm sitting here at Fox talking about the Republicans and who's going to be the candidate because nobody knows what is the Republican. Nobody knows. Meanwhile, I got news for every single person watching this right now that's a Republican. You're getting your clock cleaned by Obama on the internet. He is out there in full force. Oh yeah, I have 30 so far. Wow. And 2 from Michelle. They have rallies. Their internet strategy is full-born out of the gate, and the Republicans don't know who their candidate is. They don't know what their party stands for. It's going to be a big problem to play catch-up.
Well, I don't know that they don't know what their party stands for. I think there are definitely 2 factions there. There's the ultra-conservative side that really feels that that's where we need to go. I mean, they say we need to go there for the fact that it's our base. The other side says we need to be more moderate in order to attract those independents.
The party stands for different things for different people, and that's a big problem. But the one thing that I think all Republicans can agree on is that they need an electable nominee. And electability is still the major factor that they are taking into consideration in making decisions about who they should support in the primaries. And if Huntsman establishes himself as an electable candidate against Obama in matchups, in polls, and in other indicators, I think he will be a formidable contender because while conservatives will be reluctant to support him, the conservative credentials amongst the other candidates are spread so widely and therefore so thin that there's no consensus about who the party's conservative alternative should be. There's 5 or 6 of them, right? If there's only one moderate slash conservative Republican out there that could attract enough support, especially in states with early primaries across the country and caucuses, I think that could be pretty tremendous.
Absolutely, but there are those in the party, the GOP still. Some people yearning for a different type of candidate, so they were wistfully hoping that that Huntsman get in. Then there are those who are saying they want to see Palin and/or Perry from Texas to jump into this race, which says speaks volumes to the fact that, as you point out, they're struggling to find their voice in this.
I don't think that it's such a unique situation for the party that is not in the White House to be doing this at this stage. I just think that Obama ran a campaign like I've never seen as a marketer in my life. He's really great at it. Yes, we can. Everything fell under that. They reached. We talk about all these different blocks of voters. They reached all of them, and they reached everybody electronically. They brought people in that weren't coming in before, and they're even better at it this time.
You think they're better?
I don't disagree with that, but the cat's out of the bag in terms of social media and using a lot of these clubs. And to some extent, these things follow prospects for victory. I think that the Obama campaign will be very smart in its use of social media and the internet and technology, et cetera, to mobilize and engage voters in 2012 as it was in 2008. But the GOP knows that it has to step up, and I think that any one of these candidates will need to do that, and I think they'll realize that they'll need to do that. They may not be doing so effectively because their campaigns are just getting going. Obama already has had a campaign in place, arguably for several years, and so they knew this was coming. They're ready to go out of the gate, and yes, Republicans are going to have to play catch up, but I don't think that they won't be able to catch up necessarily.